welcome back to my channel, Caffeine and Lesson Plans. Today I've got a super exciting video for you. If you follow my channel and you've watched any of my videos from the previous year, you'll know that the homeschool planner that we used last year, at least started the year out with, was Mardel's A Simple Plan homeschooling planner. And one thing, I absolutely love that planner. Absolutely love that planner, but the problem that I had was that the binding wasn't great. It was the kind of binding that's open in the back, and so I'd only had the thing for a couple weeks, and I don't carry it around everywhere, and I'm not rough with it, but just even after a few weeks of using it, the cover was coming out, the papers kept falling out. I tried my best to keep them in there and it just wasn't working. And so I ended up switching to the Happy Planner, like the big Happy Planner. And so I just used the monthly layout as my weekly planner. And it worked okay. But last week I decided to get online and kind of browse different websites to see what they had to offer for homeschooling planners, and I went and looked back on Mardel's website, and I was super excited to see that they had changed the binding on the Simple Plan homeschool planner, and so it's just the traditional coil binding, so I'm not gonna have to worry about things falling out, and I'm super excited. So that is what I want to show you today. I ordered it last week and I already have it. It was just super fast shipping, and I am really excited about it. So this is the box. When I opened it up, the first thing I saw was this, okay, there we go, was this little click pin. It says My Mardel and homeschool.com. And so I thought that was kind of a nice little freebie, a little pin. You can always use more pins. And then also in the box, it came with this little flyer of things that are on sale and a 30% off one item coupon. So I thought that was kind of nice. And then it came with this nice little postcard here. It says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. And so, I mean, you could use that for a lot of things. You could make it a magnet. You could frame it. You could write a cute little note and give it to a friend who might need a little pick-me-up. So, super cute stuff there. But I know what you're really looking forward to is the planner. And so, this is what this year's planner looks like, and I've not normally been like a super big fan of floral stuff, but I think that this is just absolutely cute. And yeah, I've looked all the way through it just to make sure everything was good before I started personalizing it, but I'm really excited about all this. So first off is the binding. Like I said, it's just the traditional coil binding, but it is, it's enclosed, and so you don't have to worry about things falling out. It's not like the super heavy duty Erin Condren binding, but I'm totally okay with that because this planner costs less than half of what an Erin Condren teacher planner would, and this is set up for homeschooling, whereas the Erin Condren ones are not. So this does its job. This is exactly what I wanted, and I'm super happy about that. So this is the 2018-2019 Simple Plan homeschool planner. When you open it up, the first thing you have here is this nice thick pocket, and this is made of a thick cardstock. The only issue I had, and it wasn't really an issue, is that some of the tabs, you can see they stick out a little bit, some of the tabs in the corners got a little bent in shipping, which is fine. Unless you really heavy duty laminate everything, that's gonna happen. There's just really no way to ship it and that not happen. And like I said, with it being less than half of what the Erin Condren one costs, I am okay with that. So the first tab here is for general information. It has the welcome sheet, tells you what's included in the planner. And then you have the page for your personal information. And then there is a Bible scripture. There's scripture kind of throughout the whole planner itself. Then you have a little blank page over here. And then you have the information sheets for your children. So this planner will accommodate up to 6 children. And one thing that's just probably my favorite thing about this planner are the sample pages. A lot of times we will get planners and they have pages kind of set up for you to do certain things, but maybe it's not necessarily intuitive as to how to use those pages. And so I really like that they give you the samples so you know, so you know how to go about filling that information out. And usually once I've filled out the information and use these, I'll just rip them out to kind of lessen the bulk of this planner, because it's a pretty meaty planner. You can see that. So you can see how they've given you the examples of the weekly schedule, the yearly overview, things to accomplish, special activities, supplies needed, reading lists, the monthly layout, and then the weekly layout, curriculum tracker, and student attendance. And then you have a blank page here and a blank page there. And I like having these blank pages for doodling or just ideas, lists, what have you. Here is the next divider, and it is for the planning section. So the first thing you have is 2018-2019 year at a glance, the major holidays, and then dates to remember. Now, remember I said this will accommodate up to 6 children. So in the planning section, you start with your first child, and this is their personalized weekly schedule just for that child. And you've got a list down here where you can write the subject and what curriculum you're using. And then you have yearly overview pages, and this is for you to kind of get an idea for each subject how you're going to lay out the entire year. We all know that things happen, and sometimes we may have a goal of what we want to accomplish, and we may not necessarily meet that goal, at least each day or even every week, but it's nice to have a plan. It kind of keeps us on track, and if we do kind of get off balance as to our schedule, we can, you know, look back and kind of see where we need to play catch up or change things around. But it's just nice to have it to keep us organized. I know that when I'm more organized about our schedule, school just goes a lot more smoothly, and I'm, you know, a little bit more relaxed, I guess you would say. So you have, like I said, this is for 6 children, and for each child you have, let's see, 2, 4, 6 of the yearly overviews for each subject. And even if you have subjects like science and social studies where you may not do those subjects every single day, you could even squeeze them into one yearly overview. And I kind of do that with the weekly planning pages, which I'll show you in a minute. So the rest of this is the same thing for all 6 students, and at the very end you have a future planning page. So this is the first divider for July. I'll show you what each month looks like. So it starts in July, and you have the things to accomplish list or notes section, special activities, supplies needed, and reading list. This is nice to kind of have every month, especially, you know, when you want to sit down, for instance, science is a really good example. If you have like science experiment supplies that you need, it's kind of nice to begin the month, look over all that you're doing, which you could find if you did it in the yearly overview section. Figure out what lessons you're doing for that month and the supplies you need. Have that all listed, and so that you can buy it and have it prepared ahead of time. I know that some people will go through their science or history or what have you and have all of the materials kind of pulled out and bought ahead of time for the entire year. But we kind of go month to month for us, just so that it's, you know, I'm not looking at a giant box full of supplies. It's more a small container of this is what we're using this month. So that is what kind of the monthly at a glance page looks like. Then you have the monthly layout, which I love because I use this for, I'll use this for co-op stuff, field trips, library dates, you know, if we need to take books back, things like that. So I really like having the monthly layout page. You have a section over here for notes, and then you have a section over here also for prayer requests. Then you have the previous monthly layout and then the future monthly layout, and that's for each month. And this is what the weekly planning section looks like. So you have Monday through Friday, and then you have a notes section, and then you have room for 6 subjects. Now, like I said, we usually have more than 6 subjects, but certain subjects aren't ones that we use every day. So for instance, I will combine science and social studies, and then just, you know, flip back and forth depending on which day we're doing those. I also like to color coordinate my children. So for the subjects we do together, history, Bible, science, that'll be one color. And then when we get down to reading and math, those kinds of subjects, I will give each child a color so that when I am looking at the layout for the week, I can see what each child is doing quickly because I know what color they are. So that is how all of the weekly pages look like, and then at the end of each month you have another notes section. So I'm just going to flip through and show you the dividers for each month. This is August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, and June. It is a 12-month planner. And then at the end, you have student resources. So this is like record keeping, attendance, and curriculum, and that kind of thing. So this is what each child's attendance sheet looks like. It starts in July of 2018, ends in June of 2019. Talks about how just mark the days that the child is present. And then there's an area down here where you can list, you know, total days present for the first semester, total days absent for the second semester or for the first semester, and then so on, and then total days absent and present for the year. So there's 6 of those. And then you have the curriculum tracker, which is kind of nice because you can list what you're using for each subject, and then you can put the name, the publisher, the source, the price, any notes you may have. So this is really helpful too, not just to list it as to what you're using, but as you're planning for the year ahead. You have a couple pages of that. You have a grading chart here. And then at the end you have suggested reading lists broken down by grade level. And then because it's a Christian company, you have the steps to salvation, my salvation testimony, and then suggested scripture memorization. And then the last tab is extras. So you have list pages for extracurricular activities, contact information, and there's a couple pages of those. And then you have a couple notes pages. And then the very last thing is another pocket for your, there's another pocket folder for the back cover as well, just like the front cover. And then this is what the back looks like. And that's the planner. Sorry about the bumping of the, for some reason this table is just, every time I like put my arm down, the camera wants to shake. So anyway, this is the 2018-2019 Mardel A Simple Plan Homeschooling Planner. And like I said, I'm super excited about it, and I will definitely come back probably midway through next year and let you know how things are going and all of that. So thanks for sticking around and watching my video. If you are not a subscriber, just hit the subscribe button below. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. I will get back to them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.